Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me for this video and welcome to Tarot by the Pines. I am your Tim Burton loving host for this channel, Jason. Story time, folks. So the Dark Mansion Tarot has been out since 2018 and I am just now getting it. Late to the game, I know this deck is very beloved and very much so. So the story goes, I am part of a Facebook group where you can buy, sell, swap tarot decks, oracle decks, what have you. So I took a gamble and just posted in there that I was in search of the Dark Mansion Tarot. So this came about is because I was on Amazon and for some reason a counterfeit copy of this deck was on there and the price was like $12.99, so $13. And obviously the reviews were really crappy. So, I don't know because I this deck is, I believe, $59 on the correct website, which is Taroteca Studio. They sell multiple editions of this deck. This is the first edition, and you'll see, um, you know, this is the first edition back in 2018. So I basically just did a in search of for the Dark Mansion Tarot, and a lovely person named Teresa had said that she was willing to part ways with this beloved deck. So luckily she was a neighbor, so I was able to meet up in person and have a lovely chat, and basically now put in the Dark Mansion Tarot in my deck library. I'm trying not to say collection, um, rather, I'd rather say library. That's another story for another time, folks. So the Dark Mansion Tarot box, it has the 4 suits and holographic edging. Not it's gold, so it shimmers in the light. So let's read the back. 78 beautifully illustrated cards in easy to use size, printed on high quality laminated matte paper. It's illustrated by Magdalena Kazan. Production is the Taroteca Studio. Copyright 2018. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. So it is a box like this. The Dark Mansion Tarot, a regular edition. We were creating this tarot deck for 2.5 years, devoting our heart and mind to it. We hope that you will love it as much as we do. And then it has the graphic artist, which I said before, all rights reserved. This has the wonderful night sky. There is a different back that you can get. It kind of resembles like a doorknob or something like that. So that's pretty cool too, but I've always wanted this. This edition comes with the black. So I know the other editions have like a gold or silver edging. It does not come with a guidebook. It is very RWS inspired. So anyone who is familiar with the RWS artwork should have no problem. Going into the major arcana, we have the traditional artwork for the Fool. We have a person taking a leap of faith from the cliff with a dog by their side. It's giving me very Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons, but with a Tim Burton twist. I like it. The Magician is a very beautiful card. We have the Magician in front of all 4 suits within Tarot, so all of the suits and elements are at their disposal, ready to be used to their fullest potential. We have the High Priestess here. She is very stoic. This has the traditional pomegranate iconography and the traditional artwork. It's all about trusting our intuition and going with our beliefs. The Empress here, I really love this Empress. This Empress is illustrated as being one with nature, being that creative person that anything you want to do, you can do. You just have to do it. Very beautiful Empress. The Emperor, the very stoic, leadership, stuffy figure. Not a big fan of any Emperor, and this is no exception. It is a beautiful, bright card with the reds really sticking out. and it has the ram and then I guess the eagle. So it has, even though this doesn't have a guidebook, it's very RWS inspired, so anyone can easily pick it up. The Hierophant, going off of seeking structure, seeking some advice or some type of wisdom. You have the two people here at the feet of the Hierophant. The Lovers, one of my favorite lovers because you have three people and it's giving me very love triangle-y, and I've always thought the Lovers as that. And you can see that the figures within this deck, it really reminds me of the Corpse Bride movie, which I love. It has Johnny Depp in it. The Chariot here is giving me having that pull and just basically trying to balance the two forces. Beautiful Chariot. The Strength, having the will and strength to overcome. She's taming the beast. This lion is not to be messed with, but she is just, standing there very confidently and not seeing that lion an issue. The Hermit, seeking that retreat from the everyday hustle and bustle and just getting away from it all and just really seeking or retreating to oneself, being in their own little bubble. The Wheel of Fortune, we're giving a very Ferris wheel, which I really like. It has the moon and the sun. It's all about what goes up must come down. Take the good with the bad. Justice, giving me very Judge Judy, if this was ever a justice card. All about balancing what's right and what's good. The Hanged Man, giving me kind of Dracula vibes. This is definitely a vampire character. Basically, hanging upside down, flipping the perspective to see the other side. Death, a cute death card, if I may say so myself. Even though, we experience disruption within our lives, it's all a signal of something else better is coming along. And that's the true essence of death. Even though something is ending, doesn't mean we should feel too sad. Temperance, having that balance between, work and pleasure and, having the harmony within one's life and balance. It's all a balance act, folks. The Devil, it's very interesting to see the Devil as a female character. Not many people do this, which for this card here, I really like it. She's holding her glass of wine and she's having her two little minions tied to her or chained to her. The Devil is always about the tempting forces within life and how to, not overindulge. The Tower, beautiful, beautiful Tower. Again, going back to the Death card, this is all about changes, endings. The foundation which we have built is crumbling, and even though it's a sign of distress, it is also a sign of rebuilding back up to something better. The Star, very beautiful. I like how her hair is waving in the wind. After the really traumatic experience with the Tower, the Star is a signal of hope that things will get better. The Moon, this is very interesting. So we have this figure here with a really more than average size head and with a skinny body and this corset that's really closing in on her. But if you look here with the ribbon, it's tying, it really looks like the river. The Sun, very different interpretation in terms of like the classic traditional artwork. Usually you have a naked baby. Not a big fan, but this one here, it looks like these two children are at an art museum, maybe. It's all about doing things that make us happy. Judgment, absolutely love this Judgment card. I've always been not a fan of Judgment in general because it's a difficult card for me to decipher. But this, it's about having that aha moment when, things are just not going so well. And then you're like, oh, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to say. And the World, really like this World. So it has like, this is like the wallpaper. And then these are like photos hanging against the wall. Oh, very beautiful. I love, love this card. Going into the minor arcana here, we have all four aces represented: swords, wands, cups, pentacles. They all have a theme here, and I really like that. Each suit is kind of up on a pedestal, and all of these aces represent new beginnings within that suit. Now, not to mention that the cards have a border. I don't mind the border actually, because the artwork is so uh not in your face, but it's so charismatic that you just basically forget that a border is there. So the sword suit is all about our intellectual thinking and communication skills, and the ace is the beginning of that. The two of swords, beautiful. So the two represents, we have choices in front of us, but we're so wrapped up in them that we are hesitating on which choice to make. The three here, the heartbreak card. So when we experience a, kind of heartbreak or some type of trauma in our life, we really get down in the dirt. But with the three of swords, it's all about that growth. So within this locket, there is hair that has been cut off. Now that represents, to me, this person did not want their hair cut off, but we must realize that hair grows back. So even though we've experienced this traumatic event, it's going to be fine. We just have to keep going. Hair will grow back, folks. Four of Swords, having that retreat moment after experiencing that traumatic event of the Three of Swords. We are being reclusive and just taking a break and taking a breather before our next move. The Five of Swords here, giving me very Seven of Swords because of the bandit here. So once we have two people that have been basically stabbed in the back. The five is about having that conflict, and this soul person has gone through so much in order to get those swords. So it's basically a stab in the back moment. The Six of Swords, basically taking from one journey to another, leaving the past in the past and going forward. The Seven, here is that trickery card. So this is like a thief in the night. We are taking way too much, and things have fallen back. As two swords here. The Eight, being overwhelmed by our thoughts and thinking that we are so wrapped up that we can't move forward. However, the hair here has moved with the wind, but once that wind stops, this person will be able to see clearly and know that these swords are not, our thoughts are not trapping us as we thought. The Nine, the Nightmare card. Love this. It is pure nightmare. Very Tim Burton, monstrous-esque type of illustration. All about having all of our thoughts really stressing us out and being that nightmare within our lives. The 10, reaching at the top of the hill, and you have come to the conclusion or the end of the suit and seeing that all is lost and there's only one way to go from here. Being at the rock bottom, and there's only one way to go forward, and that's to go up. The court cards here are very cute. Very, very charismatic, very interesting indeed. The Page is having that youthful energy. Then once you get into the Knight, you have that more experienced person, that personality, riding the horse. Going into the Queen, you have that very stoic, cutthroat queen that we all know and love. And then going into that King, same for as the Queen. They're very stoic. They are the masters of their suits. Going into the Wands, this suit is all about our creativity and our passions. The Ace is the beginning of that suit. The Two of Wands, having that planning aspect. While it's not very traditional, artwork for the Two of Wands. It works in a way. As you can see, this trapeze artist is basically planning their next move before doing so. Because if you don't plan, things might not go well in the end. And then the 3, love this 3. This person has planned, they've packed, and now they're setting forth in their journey. Definitely a journey movement card, a travel card, if you say. Now, the 4 of Wands, this is a card that when I saw this deck years ago, I didn't jive with this card. The 4 of Wands is all about that celebratory card. It's about celebrating our accomplishments and our, planning and all of this. This is very wedding-y, wedding vibes, but if you get into the, I'm gonna just jump ahead. The 6, this is definitely the wedding card. I don't see the 6 as a wedding card. I see it more like a victory, coming back from battle and just having that praise that you've done a job well done. The 4, now that I'm looking at it, it works. It's fine. When you put up to this, I definitely prefer this 4 of Wands than the 6. So yeah, it was just so weird at the time. This was years ago before I knew what I know now about tarot. So the 4, I can jive with it. The 6, can't do it. So going back to the 5, you have another conflict card, and this is about having too many cooks in the kitchen, essentially. Going into the 7, you're on the defense. After the 6 or after the 5, having all that conflict, you're now up against all these other people, and you're at the defense. The 8, the movement card. Everything's going, everything's flying to you, and you're just taking all of that, and you just have to keep going. The 9, after having a long battle through all of these cards, you're almost there, but you're not quite, but you're still standing strong. Then the 10 of Wands, carrying all this burden. This person is definitely not feeling it. They're very hunchback. They're have all these sticks on their back. It's all about delegating those responsibilities to create a lighter load. Going into the court cards, you have a very youthful page, very cute. And then going into the knight, you have that more experienced person within the suit on their horse. Going into the queen and king, very royal. Going into the cup suit is all about our emotional needs, our emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. Beautiful Ace of Cups. I love the atmosphere that this is creating. The 2, creating that bond with someone special. Doesn't have to be someone in a relationship, or it could be a friendship, maybe like a business partner, even though this is definitely very romantic in a way. It's all about creating that bond. And then the 3, you're creating that bond with someone, but then you're going to share it with someone. This is another celebratory card, celebrating our good times with the people that we love. The 4 of Cups here, having like a bored moment here. We're so used to having these 3 cups, and we're just kind of over it. But here in the back, if they look in the back, they'll have someone offering something new, but they're just so bored with these 3 cups. Going in the 5, crying over spilled milk is what I always say. There's 3 cups here that have spilt. There's 1 cup here and 1 cup there that's not spilt, but they're so focused on these 3 cups that they just feel so sad. They would rather have all 5 cups full. The 6, the kindness card or the nostalgia card. I'm getting very nostalgia here. This person looks like they've been looking at photos, and this looks like looking at a photo. So they're definitely looking at the past and admiring those experiences and people that we have loved in the past. The 7 of Cups, having that option in front of us. We have so many things in front of us that we just need to pick what's really going to serve us in the end. See this little ghost here, very cute. Eight of Cups. This is all about having all of these cups and we've been fulfilled from them. However, now it's time to move on and see what else is what is going to be offered to us in the future. It's basically another Six of Swords, going into another journey. The Nine of Cups here, this is all about having all of our wishes come true. However, now that we have everything that we wanted, at what cost is this going to bring us? Because once you have everything, then won't you get bored, or won't you feel, I don't know, bored with having everything that you want? However, with the Ten of Cups, we have here having that emotional fulfillment and just sharing it with those who we love, kind of like a Three of Cups moment. But now we're kind of settling in with, maybe like a family or something that's deeply rooted, and we're sharing our emotional fulfillment. Going into the courts, got the beautiful, youthful page here. And the knight being their stoic and experienced self, kind of like the very heartbreaker of the kind, giving me a little bit of a Jack Sparrow vibe here. And then the Queen and King. All right, going into the Pentacles. This is all about our careers, our money, our resources. The Two of Pentacles, having that balance act when we are working towards our goals. We're kind of like balancing every day of what we need to do in order to serve our long-term goals. Going into the Three here, this is the collaboration card. We have three figures here that are helping to build something greater. The Four, this is all about taking in resources and taking inventory of what we have. And sometimes that means that sometimes we'll be hoarding resources when that's not necessarily going to help us. We need to, share some of that wealth, right? And then the Five here, this is about experiencing hardship, poverty. Something is not quite right, and we need to ask for help when needed. Then the Six, talking about the Four of Pentacles, the Six is about giving and receiving. This person is definitely well off, while this one could use, a little bit more love and taking care of. So this person is giving them something. And in turn, this person is probably feeling or getting that emotional fulfillment from helping someone else. And then the Seven, beautiful, beautiful Seven. So we have here someone who has been working hard. And sometimes when we work so hard, we keep going and keep going. But this card is a sign that we need to pause, step back, and appreciate all that we have accomplished and what we've gained since working on our goals. And then the Eight, once you take a break, you go back to it. This card is about mastering one's craft to complete our long-term goals. The Nine, this is all about living our best lives. This person is indulging in their wealth and enjoying the luxury. And then the 10, once we enjoy our wealth ourselves, we tend to share it with others, as in with the Ten of Pentacles, is about sharing that financial wealth and stability with the ones we love. Going into the courts for the Pentacles. Got wavy curly hair, or just curly. The Knight on their horse. And going into the Royals, the Queen and King. As you can see, the court cards are very charismatic for some reason, even though they're just standing still. It's just something about them that they are just so captivating. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to give this a shuffle and just try to get a sense of the shuffling of the cardstock, because the cardstock is that rose petal finish. It's not glossy. It's very rose petal, soft to the touch, so I really like that. Oop. So that did not take long. So I got the Fool. So the Fool, you know, is basically taking a leap of faith. And with this deck, when I got it or when I was on the hunt for it, going back to my story in the beginning, I took a leap of faith and posted on a Facebook page and asked where I could get this deck that was authentic and legit instead of the counterfeit deck. So it doesn't have a guidebook, like I said, so this was my interpretation of the card. It'd be kind of really cool if they did have a guidebook. If they do have a guidebook, I'm not sure, but it does not come with a guidebook. Overall, absolutely, I love this deck. I'm happy that I got it. The artwork is very Tim Burton. If you enjoy this type of artwork and you can read the RWS artwork without a guidebook, I say this is definitely a winner. Now, the only, well, two things. So, of course, with the Six of Wands, that was a card that didn't really speak wedding to me, so that's the only thing that kind of really threw me off. And then the second thing, if you've made it this far, you'll know that there are no people of color in this deck. I know diversity and inclusivity is important to me and many other people when it comes to tarot decks, because it just makes things more relatable, where people can see themselves in a deck. So that's just something to be aware of, that this doesn't feature any people of color. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the Dark Mansion Tarot, even though this has been out a while. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I will see you for my next video. Take care.